The world had no guardians. It had only Iron Lords. Fearless, righteous, we were humanity's greatest warriors. But when an ancient plague threatened mankind, the Iron Lord sacrificed everything to lock it away. Now, I am all that remains. And the plague ravages our lands once more.
Hello everyone and welcome to Beg, where we beg for likes and views. We're not doing a podcast, we're doing a review of Destiny Rise of Iron. I'm also here with Gabe.
Hello, please subscribe to my channel. My statistics are going very low, and I'm being heavily depressed right now. Please.
Alright, so we're going to be talking about Rise of Iron in this video. We've both played it. I was playing it today, actually.
I played
So,
like 90% of it. I think all I have to do left is the raid, and then finish the book experience thing. I don't remember what it's called.
The record book, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
one of
the
our
record book.
topics. Let's talk about the record book. The record book is a little achievement book where you get certain things in the game.
You level it up and you get cool armor sets, and
The Days of Iron set,
yeah.
which I have the gauntlets for, and Gabe has the gauntlets and the legs.
Yeah. And then I was gonna get the rest of it today, but I completely forgot about it.
I just got the first one today. I haven't been able to play because you can't. Bungie's game is broken.
By the server zone?
No, just every once in a while I try to send an invite to someone I want to play with on a local network and it just doesn't work.
Oh.
So, and that's been happening constantly, so every time I've wanted to play this week I just haven't been able to until today, so we played a bit. We got lots done.
We thought we had sealed away the plague for eternity. But now, it has returned. And this time, with a fallen army.
So, let's start off with the story of Rise of Iron.
The story, I feel like, was pretty good while it lasted, but I feel like there were too little missions. There weren't enough. I finished the entire storyline within a day or two, and then for the rest of the week I tried getting the Galahorn, which is retardedly hard by yourself. I spent about maybe 3 hours just on the last step, or maybe I just suck at the game. But
that's probably it.
The Kvostov, or however you pronounce that gun.
That one was so much easier.
Yeah, I got that one done within an hour.
Yeah, I got I'm always playing with someone on a local network. So it's, takes half the time. And the Kvostov quest was a ton easier than the Galahorn quest. But back to the story. We'll get onto those two later. The story overall is a long time ago there were no guardians, which is what your character is. There were Iron Lords, which are basically the same thing, but they're different. And they wield giant, really awesome axes that you get later on. So they discover this power called Ziva, and then all of them die, except for one of them. And now Ziva's coming back and it's infecting Fallen, so you have to kill everything.
And then Lord Saladin suddenly comes out of nowhere in 420 years later, and he's like, something about an Iron Temple. He doesn't really inform you very well on it. He just says you have to kill everything in the temple or else some battle happen, but he never says what'll happen if you don't. So
I think he just thinks of it as a sacred place, and he's just like, no, nothing's getting through here. This is my temple, where my friends were. This is where I remember all my old Iron Lord friends. If it's destroyed, I'm gonna kill myself. And of course, we don't want Lord Saladin to kill himself. He has a pretty good voice.
Yeah, he sounds like Morgan Freeman almost.
A lot of people are making the comparison that he sounded like Optimus Prime.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
He doesn't. He doesn't really.
Sounds like a black Optimus Prime. If Optimus Prime are black, because robots can be black, right?
Well, according to Michael Bay, yes. Because Jazz, in the first one, he was a black stereotype. You can have Japanese robots.
Yeah, of course.
Like the samurai one in the fourth movie.
Guardian, will you rise to this fight? And stand where the Iron Lords fell.
But the story, that's the story. You kill the Fallen. They look pretty cool, actually. I do like them. They're basically retreads of what they used to be. Just with some red and black stuff all over them.
They pretty much have like triangle armor, you know? But it looks like cool triangle armor.
It does look pretty cool. And I like their visuals, but they're really just the Fallen, they look different.
And then with the rest of the story, you pretty much, spoiler alert, you kill Sepix Prime for like the 10th time. And you kill this really old Iron Lord that got corrupted by Siva, and then you're an Iron Lord. And that's it.
Yeah, becoming an Iron Lord didn't feel earned to me. Like, because of how short the story was. The story is like 5 missions or something. Like, it's whoa.
I thought when they were announcing it, I thought there was gonna be like 18 or 19 story missions, but no, it's like.
I read somewhere that there was gonna be like 19 or something.
Yeah.
But no, it was very short, and it didn't feel earned as you became an Iron Lord. It's like you swung around this guy with an axe. The 3 of them, actually, with the giant axe.
It wasn't very hard. It was like, it was pretty much like you hit him a few times and you retreat back, and if you died, you were simply playing stupid.
Yeah.
It wasn't very hard. It didn't feel like a challenge enough.
There was some challenge to it, given that it was a boss, but I feel like the story goes back to base Destiny, where you scan a whole bunch of things with your ghost. You do that a lot. You did that in the base game, and the final battle is you against 3 monsters that aren't really set up all that much.
Oh yeah, that's how the base game ended too. You fought
the giant
3 giant Vex monsters. I forgot about that.
Yeah, you never fought those before. See, it's so forgettable. How lackluster the base game was.
The base game sucked. I didn't even buy the first 2, the House of Wolves and the Dark Below. I didn't even buy those.
I bought the game when Taken King came out, and I bought the collection of all 4. And that was probably a much better deal.
Actually, I did buy House of Wolves. I bought it only for not the Court of Orcs.
Court of Orcs was Prison of Elders.
Yeah, that.
Which
that lasted about another week.
Yeah.
It's fun,
which
but
they
it doesn't last long.
No. And you wouldn't be able to get much from it now. Yeah. The gear would be kind of low compared to what you can get in Rise of Iron. But one thing that Rise of Iron has over the base game is that the base game tells you absolutely nothing about what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, hey, these guys are bad guys, go kill them, and that's how it ends.
Why am I doing this? What's this darkness? What are the Vex? Where have they come from? Why am I on Venus now? Ah! And it's like that, but in this, you get why everything's happening. You get Lord Saladin's motivation, as all his friends died, and he wants to make sure nothing like that happens again. And they tell you what happens that all of his friends died, and this is where you investigate where Ziva comes from, because you go to that mission on Mars. So it's more to it. I'd say it
didn't last very long, but it was a lot more like in depth than the base game, I guess.
Base game and Dark Below, I'd say.
Yeah.
House of Wolves was when it started getting up in quality, because there was some kind of enemy. I mean, there's Crota in Dark Below, but who the hell? Who cares?
Who cares about him? I still haven't done that raid.
Neither have I, actually.
I'm not very interested in it.
I've tried, but since I only have 2 people, it's impossible.
I got past the first part where it's like that dark maze thing in the beginning.
Oh, I couldn't even get past that
With me
at all.
and one other friend.
Oh, yeah,
It was
that's
pretty much like...
You just run through and activate all those lamps as the thralls just keep attacking you.
Yeah, me and the other friend both used swords, and we kept a bunch of heavy ammo synthesis things in our inventory, and we pretty much used our warlocks, the lightning thing, super.
Ooh.
And yeah.
That seems like it'd be pretty effective. Because I'm a Titan in the game, so I have the hammers.
I usually play Titan, but I just couldn't do that raid part with the Titan.
Which is another thing that we can talk about is the new raid. I've seen a video on it, and it looks big and
I haven't
all that
watched
stuff.
any videos of people playing through it because I don't want to spoil it. But
I don't really care because I doubt I'll actually get into actually doing it. And I'm just looking at, okay, so how do you do this? And like, what's it about? Because in the end, you're just fighting a whole bunch of red guys with black blocks all over them.
yeah, I want to try it. I'm getting pretty close to the light level required for it, but I did most of the other raids. I did King's Fall and
That was Taken
House of
King?
Very Cool. Yeah. And then
The Vault of Glass
Vault of
was...
Glass, yeah, that was easy for me.
Because that was the base game one, I'm pretty sure.
I could probably solo it now.
But yeah, that brings us to another topic of strikes. There's one strike that I think is new in Rise of Iron. The Wretched Eye, where you go in, and there's an ogre that doesn't have an eye, and a fallen splicer captain has ripped it out and starting to shoot you with it. And that's set up by the Splicer Fallen are starting to experiment on the Hive, which are Thrall, Knights, and Acolytes, and all them.
And the Wizards.
Wizards. Which is why you can see the Hive floating around in the Cosmodrome and the Plaguelands, Plaguelands is the new zone.
Plaguelands is pretty big.
It seems almost equal as size to the other ones, but there's probably so much that I haven't even seen.
There's a lot of secrets in it. Me and my other friend James that I play with. There's just a ton of like secret rooms and things for the splicer keys.
Oh yeah, there's lots. And you can even go back to the Cosmodrome, which there are only 4 sections in the Cosmodrome that you can explore, as far as I know. Well, no, 5, if you include Dock 13.
Yeah.
But you have Rocket Yard, the Divide. You have Outside of the Wall, which now has a big hole in it, which is pretty good. It changes up that area, which is fun. But there's not much you can explore in the Cosmodrome, but there's stuff there. But the Plaguelands is the big focus. And I kind of wish the Plaguelands would be set somewhere completely different, like in a jungle or some other place or something. This is kind of an extension of what the Cosmodrome was, with a whole bunch of Ziva everywhere. It does look cool, but it's not as varied as some would want.
I don't know, it's weird. I don't know how I feel about it. I don't think it's very good, but I don't think it's not bad either.
It's very interesting.
Yeah,
it's
interesting.
I don't think I've been in it enough, even though the main thing that I've been doing in the game is patrolling the Plaguelands. I don't think I've been in it enough to really get everything for it.
I think it's very, like, cluttered. I mean, I think that's supposed to be how it is, too, because everything's just destroyed. And
everything's just... It's a Plagueland.
Yeah, and somehow there's a giant ship just in the middle of it. I don't really understand how that happened.
Something that I wish, because if you look at it, there's like this big lake that's in the middle of it, and you go around that.
Mm-hmm.
If the lake was frozen over, and you could go over it to the opposite side,
that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. That'd be something that Bungie would have never done, and that with this game.
I think it'd be cool if there's like a PvP setting in the Plaguelands where if you can like turn on a setting to where you can kill other Titan or other Guardians in the Plaguelands or in any patrol area.
I feel like that would be abused, because anyone that's like...
Or anyone that has it off can't be affected by anyone that has it on.
That probably works better. So if you have it on, you can affect
like
people who
person
also have it on.
Yeah.
That's an interesting idea. I'd probably never turn mine on, because it's, PvE is what I'm more into.
So what I mean is like kind of like passive mode in GTA.
Yeah. Something like that. Okay, so let's move on to characters. You got Lord Saladin. You got the new robot hunter-looking guy. Shiro.
Shiro, yes.
Shiro
4.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
The Nathan Fillion replacement. That's what I think of him. He's basically that character, but not as cool because he's not played by Nathan Fillion.
Which one are you talking about?
The Cade 6, the robot,
who
was a big part of Taken King. The Hunter Vanguard. It's... Yeah. Like he's okay. He's kind of a dude. Lord Saladin's the next monotone Mace Windu Destiny character. Like everyone else. His new Cryptarch.
Like
and this kind of brings us into the Iron Temple, which is the new social space.
Mm-hmm. I like how it's a lot more explorable, I guess. Like how you can climb the giant mountain.
Oh yeah, I've been trying to get up so high and I failed so hard.
I can only get up all the way up once.
Yeah, I still haven't been able to get up that high, in all honesty.
There's like one jump I just can't get up anymore.
Yeah. There's one jump that I was having a hard time on, and then I got past that, but then there's not much far past that I can even go anymore. But there's one place where there's a fire pit, and I was like, okay, that's somewhere. I need to go find that.
That's the top, I'm pretty sure.
I
If
think
you
that's the
can go
highest
higher
point.
than that. Yeah, if you can go higher than that, I don't know how to. I didn't see any other way when I was up there.
Yeah. I thought you meant something that was way lower, and I was thinking, I got up here in 5 minutes. Why'd you say you got up here in 30? And then I looked up and I was like, oh, I get it now. There's so much else. And I still haven't been able to get up. But the new social space is interesting. It's more open. There are wolves everywhere.
It'd be cool if you could, like, tame a wolf. Or
It'd be
buy
cool
one.
if you could. It'd be cool if you could pet one.
Yeah.
I feel like
Make the
taming it
game amazing.
and bringing it with you would cause, like, a problem that I hear in Fallout 4, that the dog's always in your way.
Oh, yeah.
So, earlier we talked about the Gallerhorn and the Kvostov, which are, like, the two of the exotic quests that I've done. There's probably more. There's more in the record book that it says, where you complete the quest and you get the exotic weapon.
Oh, yeah.
The Gallerhorn is obviously widely known as being the best exotic in the game.
It's all I use anymore. Now that I got it. It's so, like... I remember them, depowering it in year 1. But it's still just overpowered.
Yeah, I haven't used it since that one mission, because I first off, I have an exotic primary that I use all the time, so I wouldn't be able to equip the Gallerhorn half the time. And I also really like my Taken sword, that I have. I think it's called the Dreadfang. You get it after completing the quest that was unlocked in the April update.
Oh, yeah,
And
I
that's-
forgot about that one.
Yeah. When you kill, like, the next Taken guy who wants to be the next Oryx, the next Taken King. And then you kill him in 3 missions.
Yep. It
Or
was
something like
very
that.
anticlimactic.
Like, it was the length of Dark Below, but it was for free. Which is interesting, because Dark Below was a
It was
paid-for
$20.
expansion. Like, $20 expansion, and then the April update is completely free, and you get the same amount of content. Which is interesting. But then there's the Gallerhorn quest line is quite long. I think it's like 9 steps or something. You do these missions, you find these things. You find these little wolf heads, or iron artifacts all over the place.
The medallions.
The medallions. Then the Ziva clusters, I think that was for the Gallerhorn,
Yeah.
maybe that was the Kvostov. And that was one where you had to go way up high. I just completely skipped that one and went and found another one in the Plague Lands. Because I was like, no, this is not happening. I've been spending like 20 minutes on this and I'm not getting anywhere.
One jump on the mountain that's like really like a tight space that I hate, that I can barely move my camera in. That was the one. I think it was like near the top almost, or maybe halfway up, that I hate getting to.
Yeah, because there's the first part, you get that wolf statue, you go up a bit more and it looks like it's over, but if you go off to the side, you keep going. There's some platforms you have to jump to, and then you go up some more. And then there's another, like, ledge that's kind of poking out, and if you jump it the wrong way, you're launched out 50 feet and you're dead.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about.
Like, that's one that I've managed to get past, get above, like, twice, and then after that I'm like, okay, where do I go now? And that's, like, wow. But the Gallarhorn questline, it ends with a really challenging mission where there are 2 fallen walkers that you have to destroy. And there's a whole bunch of splicer demons, or whatever they're called. Devil splicers. And those splicers are very annoying. And then there's the Kvostov one. You go into the wall, you kill a guy, and then you got it.
Alright. I think the exotic quests are the Galahorn, the Kvostov, and a Year 3 Thorn, but I don't know the other 2 yet.
There are 5 of them?
Yeah, there are 5 of them.
Well, I've gotten 2. So, another thing.
Could stop going off. There could also be other exotic mission, the other 2 exotic missions released in the next like few weeks or few days. Because I remember in the Taken King, there were missions like still being released like every other week, I think. Like they weren't all released at the same time.
This could be. I have no idea. But I currently have the Kvostov equipped as my primary. I like it quite a bit. I was thinking I wasn't going to use it because I really like my Monte Carlo, which I got from Zur, which also is completely updated, and he's pretty cool. I got my chest armor from him, which is awesome because it grants you an extra grenade. So if you're fully charged, it slowly charges a second grenade, and then you can throw one.
Armamentarium.
Yeah.
I love that one. That's all I used in Year 1.
I also got the Days of Iron gauntlets, which we've talked about already. One thing I was slightly disappointed in, as we probably wrap this up now, is that there's no new level cap. It's still at level 40.
That was kind of... it'd be cool if...
It'd be cool if it jumped to 50.
Yeah.
I was thinking that would be the next logical step, is for it to go up to 50. That's not the case though, it's still at 40. The light level is, however...
Yeah, the light level got boosted a ton. I think by like 20
Because
or 30.
it was at 335 as of the April update, and now it's at 385.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it boosted up quite a bit. I'm currently at 344. I'm gonna check.
347 or 348 right now.
I'm gonna check. You are at 347. And I think the raid is at 370.
Yeah.
So we both still have quite a ways to go before we get to that.
Join me, Guardian, and become an Iron Lord.
Overall, now that we've talked endlessly about a 5-mission expansion for a game that was pretty disappointing at initial release, overall, what would you say about this expansion?
I'd say I overhyped it a little bit, not too much, but it was still pretty good. If I've never seen any of the trailers and didn't hype it up as much as I did, I think it would be great. But for how much I expected of it, I was a little disappointed. But it's still good. I still liked it.
I'm on the same lines, actually. the expansion, if you're a fan of Destiny and you just like shooting a whole bunch of guys, there's plenty of that.
Yeah, if you're just looking for action and no, I don't want to say no story, because
No substance really to it.
Yeah, if you're only looking for action solely, or
Yeah,
you
solely.
know what I mean.
Then
Then this is a pretty good game, but
pretty good expansion. If you like Destiny and you like all the expansions, you should probably get this one. And if you're a
never
fan of
played
Destiny,
I'd think
if you
this is
if
where
you've
you
never
start. If you haven't
if
played
you've
it,
never
you wouldn't
pl-
be disappointed.
if you've never played Destiny, I don't think I quite agree with that. If you've never played Destiny, I'd say this probably won't turn you over. Or if you left after the base game as being a disappointment, this probably won't tide you over. And if Taken King didn't do it, then this won't do it. Because in my opinion, Taken King is a better expansion than Rise of Iron.
Yeah, definitely.
Because Taken King has more characters, it has more stuff to get attached to, but if you like Destiny, pick it up at your local GameStop or EB Games or whatever. If you like the game, get it. If you don't, this won't change your mind.
Either way, you should subscribe to Gabe.